Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, the world seems to push back even harder? Today, we're going to talk about something deeply personal and incredibly powerful. Why it often feels like the chosen ones, perhaps like you and me, face the toughest battles just before their biggest breakthroughs. Imagine this. There's a man named Tom. Tom had always been a dedicated family man and a hard worker. One day, out of the blue, he's laid off from his job of 20 years, and almost simultaneously, he faces a health scare. Overwhelmed, Tom wondered why, after years of doing everything right, everything seemed to be going wrong. But here's where Tom's story takes a turn. Through this immense hardship, Tom discovered a strength he didn't know he had. He found a new path that aligned more closely with his passions and values, ultimately leading him to a fulfilling career in community service. What seemed like the end was just the beginning. Why does this happen? Why are the chosen ones tested so severely? Is there a reason that just when you're about to give up, the breakthrough is right around the corner? Today, we dive deep into these questions, exploring 7 reasons why our hardest times might just be preparing us for our greatest moments. Stick with me, as this isn't just about understanding these reasons. It's about discovering how you too can emerge stronger, wiser, and more equipped for the life you're meant to lead. Let's uncover the hidden blessings in our trials together. So, if you're ready to see your hardships in a new light, let's get started. Let's dive into the first reason why chosen ones are often treated poorly before their breakthrough, the testing of their faith. Now, you might be wondering, why does our faith need to be tested? Well, it's not just about proving our faith to God, it's about proving it to ourselves. It's about discovering the true depth of our commitment and trust in God's plans, even when the path isn't clear. Think about Abraham, a man often called the father of faith. God promised him descendants as numerous as the stars, yet he waited years to see the promise fulfilled. And even then, God tested him by asking him to sacrifice his son Isaac. It was a test that could shatter any father's heart, yet Abraham proceeded, showing unwavering faith. This story from Genesis 22 isn't just a tale from the past. It's a vivid reminder that sometimes our hardest tests prepare us for the greatest blessings. Now, I want to share a story from a friend of mine, John. John was a small business owner whose company faced a severe financial crisis in 2008. Creditors were knocking, the bills were piling up, and bankruptcy seemed inevitable. During those nights of endless worry, John found in prayer and scripture. He told me that he had never prayed so earnestly in his life. He wasn't praying for a miracle, just for the strength to keep his faith, no matter the outcome. Miraculously, a former client called him out of the blue, offering him a project that not only helped him pay off his debts, but also propelled his business to new heights. John believes that this trial was a test of his faith, a crucial point that defined his trust in God's provision. He shared with me, if I hadn't been pushed to my limits, I might never have realized the power of true dependence on God. For all of us, our faith is tested not to break us, but to show that our brokenness can be the soil for new growth and strength. It's in those moments of vulnerability that our faith grows roots deep enough to withstand any storm. It teaches us that the essence of faith is not in knowing what lies ahead, but in trusting that whatever comes, God is in control. And, let's be honest, maintaining faith when you're treated poorly, when you're misunderstood, underestimated, or facing failure is not easy. It takes a resilient heart and a spirit that's willing to keep believing, even when evidence suggests otherwise. But remember, just as gold is tested in fire, our faith is tested through trials. So, if you find yourself questioning why you have to go through tough times, remember, it's not a punishment, it's a preparation. It's a call to lift your eyes above the storm and focus on the one who controls the winds and the waves. As we reflect on this, I encourage you to think about the areas in your life where your faith is being tested. How are you responding? Are you clinging to your faith, or are you tempted to let go? Let this be a reminder that every test is an opportunity to solidify your trust in God's eternal promise and plan. And with that, let's prepare to explore the next reason, which is about building resilience. Stick around as we continue to uncover the profound journey of chosen ones. Now, moving on from how our faith is tested, let's delve into the second reason why chosen ones often face hardships: building resilience. This isn't just about bouncing back. It's about growing stronger through the struggles we encounter. Resilience is that quality that allows us to endure great challenges and come out not just surviving, but thriving. Think about the story of Paul the Apostle. Despite being shipwrecked, beaten, and imprisoned, Paul's resolve only grew stronger. His trials didn't weaken his spirit, they steeled it, preparing him to face even greater obstacles. His life teaches us that resilience is not just found, it's forged in the fires of adversity. I'd like to tell you about a woman named Lisa. Lisa was diagnosed with a chronic illness that doctors said would limit her life significantly. Initially, the news broke her spirit. She went through a phase of deep despair, but over time, Lisa turned to her faith and the community around her. What happened next was nothing short of transformative. As she began to accept and adapt to her new reality, she discovered an inner strength she didn't know she had. Lisa started a support group for others dealing with similar illnesses, transforming her pain into a purpose that not only helped her cope, but also made her a beacon of hope for others. This is what resilience looks like. It's about finding that silver lining, even in the darkest clouds. It's understanding that every hardship carries with it the seeds of a new beginning. And like Lisa, many of us will discover that our greatest contributions to the world come from the places of our deepest struggles. Resilience is also about flexibility, the ability to adjust and adapt. When we face poor treatment or unexpected setbacks, it's easy to become rigid and resistant. However, resilience teaches us to be flexible, to bend rather than break under pressure. It's about learning to navigate the winds of change, adjusting our sails as we continue our journey towards our divine destiny. For those of us feeling like every step forward is met with 2 steps back, consider this: each setback is a setup for a comeback. Every time you're knocked down and you get back up, you're not the same person who went down. You're stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. You're building your resilience. So, as you face your own trials, remember that resilience is not inherited, it's built. Every challenge you overcome is adding to your spiritual and emotional fortitude. You are being equipped for bigger battles and greater victories. Let this be an encouragement to you today. If you're going through a tough time, it's not in vain. You're being shaped, molded, and strengthened. You're not just going through it, you're growing through it. And with that thought, let's look forward to our next point, which is about the purification process. How does going through hardships purify and refine us? Stay tuned as we explore this transformative reason next. As we continue our journey through the reasons why chosen ones often face hardships, let's delve into our third reason, the purification process. This concept, while challenging, is incredibly transformative. It's about being refined, like gold in the fire, to bring out our purest, most resilient self. In the Bible, we often hear about the refining fire. It's a powerful metaphor used throughout Scripture, like in Malachi 3:2-3, where it describes how a refiner purifies silver and gold. The process is intense, it's hot, and it's uncomfortable. Yet, what emerges from this fire is something beautiful, pure. That's exactly what happens to us during our trials. We are being purified, our imperfections are being addressed, and our true essence is being brought to light. Let's talk about a modern example that beautifully illustrates this purification process. Consider Sarah, a young woman who struggled with a tendency to prioritize work over everything else, neglecting her health. relationships, and spiritual life. When she faced a career setback that forced her to take time off, Sarah initially saw it as a disaster. But during this period, she began to reevaluate her priorities. She started to invest time in prayer, reconnect with her family, and take care of her health. This trial, though painful, purified her focus and realigned her life's priorities to what truly mattered. This is what purification looks like. It's not about punishment. It's about preparation. It's about stripping away the non-essentials, the things that distract us from our true purpose and calling. Just like how impurities in gold melt away at high temperatures, our spiritual and personal impurities also dissolve under the heat of our trials, leaving us better, stronger, and more focused. And yes, this process can feel like we're being treated poorly, as if the world is against us. But remember, it's not the world refining us. It's God's hand at work, sculpting us into the image He desires. It's a divine purification that prepares us for greater things ahead. During these times, it's crucial to stay connected to the source of our faith. Dive deeper into prayer, seek wisdom in the scriptures, and surround yourself with those who encourage spiritual growth. This connection is what sustains us through the heat and helps us emerge not scorched, but shining. So, if you find yourself in a tough spot, feeling the heat from all sides, consider this. Maybe you're not being punished. Maybe you're being purified. Embrace the process. Lean into it. Trust that on the other side of this purification, you'll emerge as a clearer, more refined version of yourself, ready to fulfill God's incredible plan for your life. With that understanding, let's prepare to transition into our next topic, how these trials not only purify us, but also lead us to a revelation of our divine purpose. Stay tuned as we explore how our deepest struggles can reveal our highest callings. Transitioning from the purification process, we arrive at our fourth reason why chosen ones often face hardships: the revelation of purpose. It's fascinating how, through the most challenging times, our true calling can become clearer than ever before. Let's start with a fundamental truth. Sometimes it's in the darkness that we see the light most clearly. Have you ever noticed how hardships have a way of stripping away the superficial, forcing us to focus on what truly matters? This stripping away is not just about purification. It's also about revelation, revealing the path God has laid out for us, which we might not have seen if not for the trials we faced. Consider the story of Moses. It was not in Pharaoh's palace where Moses found his calling, but in the desert. Away from the luxuries and distractions of his Egyptian life, in the solitude and hardship of the desert, Moses encountered the burning bush. It was here, in this moment of isolation and challenge, that his purpose to lead the Israelites out of Egypt was revealed to him. Let me share a modern story that echoes this. I met Mark, a former executive in a high-powered corporate firm. Mark was successful by all standard measures: promotions, a great salary, and respect in his industry. However, he felt unfulfilled, like he was meant for something different, something more. It wasn't until he was laid off during an economic downturn, a period he describes as his personal desert, that he really questioned his path. During this time, he volunteered at a local food bank to fill his days. This experience opened his eyes to the needs of his community and ignited a passion for helping others that he never knew he had. Today, Mark runs a non-profit that addresses food insecurity. His layoff, painful as it was, directed him to his true calling. This is the beauty of our trials. They don't just test us, they teach us. They show us parts of ourselves that we might never have explored otherwise. They push us beyond our perceived limits and reveal the potential we have to impact the world in ways we might never have imagined. If you're currently facing a tough season and everything seems unclear, take a moment to step back. Reflect on what this hardship might be trying to teach you. What parts of your heart is it revealing? What long-buried dreams or talents are being called forth. Your current challenges might very well be the catalysts for discovering your divine purpose. So, let's embrace our trials with a heart open to learning. Let's ask ourselves, what is this situation revealing to me about my purpose? Trust that God is using every difficulty, every moment of discomfort to unveil a part of His grand plan for your life. As we wrap up this reason, remember that your greatest struggles often lead to the most profound revelations. Stay tuned as we move on to our next point, how being treated poorly often positions us uniquely to inspire and lead others. This is where your personal breakthrough becomes a beacon of hope for others. As we move into the fifth reason why chosen ones are often treated poorly before their breakthrough, let's explore a profoundly impactful purpose: to inspire others. It's not just about the trials we endure, but also about how our journey can become a source of inspiration for those around us. Consider the influence of witnessing someone overcome significant obstacles. It's powerful, isn't it? When we see someone enduring hardship with grace and faith, it encourages us to believe that we too can face our own challenges with strength. This is why chosen ones often go through such intense trials. They are being prepared to be beacons of hope and courage to others. Let me tell you about Angela. Angela was someone who went through a harrowing health diagnosis. Throughout her treatment, her faith and her unwavering positivity were evident. What's remarkable is not just that Angela recovered, but how her journey inspired her community. People saw her faith in action. They saw her spirit unbroken by her physical trials. Today, Angela speaks at community centers and churches, sharing her story, not just to tell others about her own resilience, but to ignite that same resilience in them. This is what being a chosen one can often mean. You go through fires not only to be purified and find your purpose, but to show others that it is possible to walk through flames and not be burnt. Your story, your testimony of overcoming, becomes a living, breathing testament to God's power and grace in your life. And it's not just about those big, monumental victories. Every small act of endurance, every moment you choose faith over fear, adds up. These moments create a story that can motivate others to hold on a little longer, to not give up hope, to strive towards their own breakthroughs. So, if you find yourself asking, why me? In the middle of your struggles, remember this: perhaps it's because your life is meant to be a guiding light for someone else. Perhaps your story is the one that will spark faith in someone who's on the verge of losing hope. As chosen ones, our lives are not just our own. We are interconnected in this tapestry of human experience, where each story can strengthen the weave. By sharing our journeys, by being open about our struggles and our triumphs, we help construct a narrative of hope that can endure through generations. So, embrace your role as an inspirer. Live your life in such a way that others, seeing your faith, your resilience, and your joy, despite the odds, are moved to find the same strength within themselves. Let your life be a testimony that uplifts and empowers, a true reflection of the divine purpose you're living out. As we conclude this reason, remember, the impact you have by simply living your truth can be monumental. Next, we'll look at how these experiences not only inspire others, but also strengthen our own inner spiritual connection. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the transformative power of enduring hardships. As we continue our exploration of the reasons why chosen ones often face hardships, our sixth point focuses on strengthening inner connection. This isn't just about enduring trials. It's about deepening our relationship with God, strengthening our spiritual fibers in ways only adversity can. You see, when life is smooth and our path is unobstructed, it's easy to feel spiritually connected. But True depth in our spiritual life often comes when we're pushed beyond our comfort zones, when we find ourselves in the wilderness, so to speak. It's in these challenging times that we're compelled to dig deeper, to truly lean on our faith. Think about the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Facing imminent death, Daniel's faith didn't waver. Instead, his ordeal brought him closer to God, his trust deepened by the trial. His miraculous survival wasn't just a sign of God's power to deliver, but also a testament to how adversity can enhance our spiritual connection. Let me share a personal story that mirrors this. A friend of mine, Emily, went through a tough divorce that left her feeling alone and adrift. During this period, her spiritual practices had waned, and she felt disconnected. However, as she navigated through this tough phase, Emily found herself drawn back to prayer and meditation, seeking comfort and guidance. Over time, these practices didn't just help her cope, they transformed her. Her relationship with God became the cornerstone of her new life, more profound than it had ever been. This is what it means to strengthen your inner connection. It's about using every trial as an opportunity to turn inward, to really converse with God, to listen, and to learn from the whispers of the Holy Spirit. It's about finding strength, not from external sources, but from the deep, quiet places within your soul. If you're going through a period where you feel every day is a battle, take a moment to consider this. Maybe this challenge is an invitation to enhance your spiritual dialogue, to fortify your inner sanctuary. Remember, the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree stands. Just like that, the deeper our spiritual roots, the more unshakable our faith becomes. So, I encourage you today, don't shy away from this opportunity. Embrace your trials as chances to enhance your connection with the divine. Engage more deeply in prayer, spend more time in the Word, and allow yourself to be molded and strengthened by these experiences. And it's important to recognize that this strengthening isn't just for our own benefit. It equips us to be a beacon of hope and a source of strength for others. As our own spiritual foundation becomes more robust, we find that we can support others in their times of need with greater empathy and wisdom. As we wrap up this discussion on strengthening our inner connection, let us prepare for the next, where we will explore how all these experiences culminate in preparing us for our ultimate breakthrough. Stay tuned as we conclude with the final and perhaps most exhilarating reason: preparation for breakthrough. And now, we arrive at our final and perhaps most hopeful reason why chosen ones are often treated poorly before their breakthrough: preparation for breakthrough. This isn't just the light at the end of the tunnel, it's the reason the tunnel was there in the first place. Throughout Scripture and throughout our lives, we see that significant breakthroughs often follow significant trials. Like a runner feels the burn before the finish line, our spiritual and personal growth experiences a similar stretch before we reach new heights. Let's revisit the story of Joseph, a favorite that illustrates this beautifully. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph faced one adversity after another. But each of these wasn't just a random misfortune, they were stages of preparation. In the prison, Joseph learned administration, managing other prisoners. Little did he know, he was being prepared for managing an entire nation. When the time was right, his breakthrough came, and he was appointed second only to Pharaoh, saving nations from famine. I want to share a modern example that echoes this. Consider Lisa, a school teacher who faced severe criticism and setbacks when she first proposed innovative changes to the curriculum. She endured doubts, professional jealousy, and even sabotage. Yet, she persisted, refined her proposals, and developed her resilience. Eventually, not only were her ideas accepted, but they also set new standards in educational methods. Her earlier struggles were not merely obstacles. They were opportunities to hone her skills, patience, and resolve, all of which led to her breakthrough. This is a crucial lesson for all of us. Our hardships are not pointless. They are purposeful. They are God's way of equipping us for the roles He has destined for us. Each challenge you face is shaping you, crafting you into the person capable of handling the great responsibilities and blessings that are coming your way. If you're watching this and you're in the midst of hardship, remember this: you are being prepared. Your current trials are the training ground for your future triumphs. They are adding to your strength, your wisdom, your capacity to lead, to empathize, and to impact the world. So, don't lose heart. Embrace your journey with faith and patience. Lean into God, knowing that He is with you every step of the way, molding you, preparing you for something greater than you can imagine right now. And as we conclude, not just this reason, but our entire discussion today, take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked on together. From being tested, built up in resilience, purified, having our purposes revealed, inspiring others, strengthening our interconnections, to finally being prepared for breakthrough. Each step has been a crucial part of shaping you into a chosen one, ready to fulfill your divine destiny. As we wrap up today's journey, exploring why chosen ones often face hardships before their breakthrough, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered together. We've delved into 7 profound reasons, each shedding light on the trials you might be experiencing. From the testing of our faith, building resilience, and undergoing a purification process, to discovering our divine purpose, inspiring others, strengthening our inner spiritual connection, and ultimately preparing for our breakthrough, we see that each challenge has a purpose. These experiences aren't random. They are intricately designed components of our spiritual journey, tailored by God to bring out the best in us, to shape us into the individuals He knows we can become. Remember, your struggles are not signs of abandonment. They are marks of divine attention, evidence that you are being prepared for something extraordinary. Now, if today's message resonated with you, I encourage you to take a bold step. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this encouragement. You never know how your act of sharing could be the beacon of hope someone is searching for right at this moment. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel for more uplifting content like this. Your support means the world to us and helps us reach and inspire more people just like you. And finally, I invite you to comment below. Share your story of resilience, of faith, of breakthrough. This community is about lifting each other up, learning from each other's journeys, and growing together in faith and purpose. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your presence here is not taken for granted. I pray that as you continue on your path, you feel strengthened, purified, and ever so ready for the incredible breakthrough that lies ahead. Keep pushing forward, keep the faith, and stay blessed. Remember, God is always at work, even in the toughest times, preparing you for a future filled with hope and promise. Until we meet again, take care and God bless.